E- What is good? What is good in the hood? Okay, bear with me because I'm going live here on YouTube, but I'm also going live on Instagram. So give me a second here. We going live here. It gives people time to come on, I suppose. That's cool too. We're going live. Oh my gosh. How cute. Okay. Well, welcome to Mindful Monday. It is Monday, October 27th at 7:20 p.m. I was 5 minutes late. And I recognize that, and I forgive myself, and I accept that. Time is a social construct. Anyway, 11 or 1:11 on the clock as I just looked at it. That's so exciting. I love coming on here every other Monday, I suppose, to lead you all through a mindfulness practice, a hypnosis practice. If you are watching, whether on YouTube here or on Instagram here, please make sure that you are not driving or operating heavy machinery as you listen to this live. This is a time for you to get comfortable in your space, starting to wind down from the day. If you were on Instagram with me today, I did a little tarot reading for the collective, and I needed it so much, and it honestly really set me in a great mood for today. I was feeling really in alignment with what I was creating, really productive, and that's a beautiful thing. I think sometimes on this journey of being creative, an entrepreneur, a wellness professional, like I know that I need to like prioritize my wellness and practice what I preach. And some days it's easier than others because I'm a human. I'm a human after all that gets overwhelmed by the mundane. And I keep coming back to these practices because it just helps me stay connected to the truth of what I'm creating and co-creating with people here at Ritual Wellness Space through this collective network of amazing creatives and wellness practitioners that are trying to do this differently. Something that we talk about a lot here is moving through the conditioning that at least I myself feel that I hold. It like plays in the back of my mind of this hustle and grind culture, and I'm just like I don't subscribe to this. I'm unsubscribing from this experience and this reality. Yes, like hard work is a part of this when you're creating something that doesn't exist because you are the creator of it. You have to work like consistently and diligently on bringing that into reality. And it takes a I just don't think it has to burn us out all the time. And so that's why I come back to this practice of mindfulness, of self-hypnosis to help me move out of those programs that run in the back of my mind that don't serve me. I can't show up every day in the same energy, and I'm not supposed to. Especially as women, we operate on a 28-day cycle. And I'm learning how to honor that cycle in my practice, in my work, and building my business. And like I feel resistance in doing that sometimes because I feel like I should be like performing better. I should be more productive. And that's just not the truth. I'm TM, and it's not TMI, but I'm currently like in my follicular phase, luteal phase, moving toward my menstrual cycle. And so production's going to slow down. Now's the time to like wrap up like final projects and start to like slow down so that I can take the first day or so of my menstrual cycle to fully rest and integrate this magic and the manifestations that I'm working toward, so that I can come out of that cycle feeling ready to go and move in with powerful energy. So maybe you resonate with that, maybe you don't. But I'm glad you're here today because we are going to have this beautiful meditation practice. But before we do that, I wanted to share that I did pull just 2 cards. And I pulled cards this morning already, and that really set the tone. And this feels like it resonates with that message. If you didn't catch that, it is on my Becoming Home Healing Co. page, and you can listen to that if that resonates. But I pulled 2 cards from the Sacred Creators deck. We have this one step ahead is all you need. One step ahead is all you need, and overthinking can spoil the magic. And I feel that deeply. I think when we're really close and feeling really close to reaching our goals and we're starting to feel momentum, it's easy to be like caught up in the hustle, to be caught up in the momentum, and we can miss some steps. I'm guilty of doing that myself, and so that also leads to overthinking, the overwhelm when the excitement is moving and I feel like the shift is going. I want to keep up with it. I want to like almost go faster. But that's also when the stress and the burnout can take over and we can start overthinking. And I think it's important for us to, when we feel that, stay connected to the vision, stay connected to the momentum, but like take a breath and come back. Come back to the vision, come back to the goals, maybe write out your to-do lists, whatever you do, staying focused on what's important and not overthinking it, allowing room for like the universe to respond, if that makes sense. And that's really what came from this reading this morning. Again, if you didn't watch that, I recommend that you do. But it's kind of like, okay, universe, this is what I want. Now bring it to me. And how can I also show up and match that energy of what I'm manifesting, right? Being in alignment energetically with what I'm calling in, trusting that it's coming in, and also trusting that I'm aligning my energy to be able to receive it. And in what feels like waiting or recalibrating, the what ifs, the doubts, they start to ruminate in our mind, and those old belief patterns can be triggered, and we can go into these cycles of self-doubt. And that's why this kind of work, hypnosis and mindfulness, can be really, really supportive, to bring us back, our mind, connecting it back to the body, listening to how we feel, and practicing this holistic approach, this mind, body, spirit connection as we move toward our goals, and maybe allow some rest in the mix so that we can be open to receive. Someone told me this today, actually. We were talking about, clients or referrals, and just like, how do I know if I'm making the right moves? And I don't know, this person just was like, I don't know, maybe like we can just have room for miracles. Maybe we can just make room for people to surprise us in the best ways. And I was like, yeah, actually that feels good. Remembering that I don't have full control over this process. What I do have control over is my thoughts, the quality of my thoughts. I get to observe my thoughts, and I can shift that narrative and that perspective so it better serves me. And I have control over my emotions. I can observe my emotions and move through the challenging ones and come back to the feeling that I want to feel. And this practice of hypnosis, meditation, anything of the sort, helps us remember that. So I'm excited to share this journey with you today. So let's get into it. Now's the time for you to find a really comfortable spot wherever you're resting, wherever you're going to have space to really relax. and not be bothered if possible. Maybe you're in your bed. You might run the risk of falling asleep if you are laying in your bed, but maybe that's what you need today, and that's awesome. As long as you can find a space where maybe you just can have a couple minutes to yourself. Get yourself comfortable and situated. Getting comfy, cozy, and taking some deep breaths. And like a good deep breath, a full respiratory breath fills the belly and the diaphragm and then the chest. And then as you exhale, you empty the chest past the diaphragm and out through the belly. So as you breathe in, breathing and filling the belly, the diaphragm, and the chest with breath, and then releasing it from the chest, the diaphragm, and the belly. Maybe you can even imagine yourself breathing all the way into your womb space. Get your creative center activated through your breath too. Especially if you're this empowered creator, we have to connect with our womb space in a way that helps you feel empowered and safe. And maybe as you take a slow, deep breath in and then fully exhale, you can kind of observe the temperature of the breath and feel how it's different as it moves in through the nose. It feels cool. Maybe you can trace that breath connecting with that cool sensation as it moves down your throat, through your chest, and down through the belly. And then you follow it back up, that warm exhale as it moves up, back through the chest, out through the throat, and out through the nose or the mouth. And as you breathe and arrive to the present moment, you can let your shoulders drop. You can let your jaw soften. Allow your body to sink comfortably into the surface beneath you. With each breath, you feel a gentle calmness flowing through you. Almost like this warm sunlight spreading from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Gradually, you feel this warmth move past your crown and over your forehead, past the eyebrows, over the eyes, the nose, and the cheeks. Noticing how all the little micro muscles around the eyes just start to loosen and relax. The jaw unclenches. The tongue falls to the bottom of your mouth. And perhaps you may feel the sensation like the mouth is dry, so you need to swallow. Just know that's completely normal and a part of this process. And perhaps you feel the body needing more oxygen as you drift into this state of calm. And just know that's completely normal and a part of the process too. Listen to the needs of your body and adjust, wiggle, send breath to the spaces that feel tight, where you feel tension or stress from the day. Send that deep breath there. And with the exhale, allow it to soften. Each breath bringing this softening. So as you breathe, maybe you send that breath to the space between your shoulder blades, the space that lifts and protects the heart. You feel the space expand with the inhale, creating more space. And then exhale, you release that tension, creating space for a new experience, this new softness. With each breath, you feel this gentleness, this warmth spread as it moves over your shoulders, your arms, down through your chest. That breath then moves down the spine. Maybe you readjust as you breathe, creating space for a new experience. And as you breathe, that warmth moves down through the belly, past the hips and the waist, moving down the legs, past the knees, the shins and the calves, and down through the feet. And maybe if you live in Southwest Florida, maybe you're starting to hear the rain hitting the windows outside. And each sound that you hear outside of yourself, allow it to deepen this state of rest and relaxation. And as you feel this deep sense of rest and relaxation, all the way from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes, you go into a deep sleep. Each and every time I suggest deep sleep to you for the purpose of hypnosis and with your permission, you will go into this deep, relaxed state quickly, calmly, and deeply to this depth, or even deeper. As you continue to breathe slowly and deeply, I want you to imagine yourself standing at the edge of a beautiful path. This path represents your creative journey, your projects, your ideas, everything you're bringing into the world. And notice that it's perfectly lit, safe, and inviting. How awesome does that feel? Knowing that everything that you want to create, everything that is meant for you in that journey is laid out before you, one step at a time. We walk this path. In your hand, you hold a stone. And on this stone is the word trust. You can hold on to this stone. Imagine the coolness, the softness, maybe the roughness, depending on the stone that you're connecting with. You feel it, the weight of it in your hand, as you walk down this step, this path, one step at a time. You feel the energy of the word trust, and you feel the energy of that stone. They remind you that you do not need to have everything figured out, and you do not need to rush. Creativity, inspiration, and success flow when you move at your own pace. One step is all that is required. And that small, steady step carries more power than you realize. And allow every step you take on this path to be with confidence, connected to your joy, your truth, your excellence. And so imagine yourself now walking down this path. 10. Each step taking you deeper. 9. Each step you feel a little bit more connected to your confidence. 8. Feeling at ease and clear. 7. Even more relaxed with each step down the path. At 6. Even deeper at 5. More and more relaxed at 4. 3. Connecting with trust. 2. 1. And 0. Going into a deep sleep. Each and every time I suggest deep sleep, you'll go into this deep, relaxed state quickly, calmly, and deeply to this depth. or even deeper. Take a moment to feel what it would be like to release any pressure, to know every detail, or to control every outcome. Imagine yourself taking just one confident step forward, feeling grounded, supported, focused, and guided. Notice how that single step opens new doors, new possibilities, new sparks of insight, new connections, new clients, new inspiration, new creative collaborations, new projects, or just new insight and clarity into the big picture of what you're creating. New feelings of joy as you continue on your path. It's easy to overthink this journey, this creative journey, this beautiful life. Sometimes it's easy to overthink it because we have a lot of questions. And our mind loves us so much that it wants us to be prepared. It wants us to feel safe. And so overthinking is a protective mechanism to understand every possible outcome. But the truth is that you have truly no way of knowing in where you're going. It's new territory. You are creating something so authentically yourself, so profoundly magical and beautiful. It actually doesn't exist yet. You see the path ahead because you are the creator. Don't let overthinking spoil the magic of your creative journey. Let those words settle gently into your mind. Overthinking can spoil the magic. So as you breathe in, imagine inhaling clarity and focus. And as you exhale, release any unnecessary mental chatter, worries, doubts. Allow the magic of your intuition to flow freely without interference from overthinking. See yourself moving along your path, guided by your inner wisdom, trusting that the right steps will reveal themselves. Feel the lightness and freedom that comes from allowing creativity to unfold naturally, knowing that each step, no matter how small, is a part of the larger journey. Take one deep, cleansing breath. And as you exhale, imagine all tension, worry, and overthinking dissolve. See yourself moving along your path, guided by your inner wisdom, trusting that the right steps will reveal themselves. Feel the lightness and the freedom that comes from allowing creativity to unfold naturally, knowing that each step, no matter how small, is a part of the larger journey. Take another deep breath. Release all of the tension, worry, and overthinking, and observe it dissolve, releasing that influence over your creative experience. All that remains is your confidence, your focus, and the gentle knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, moving forward on one inspired step at a time. You know the way. Don't let overthinking keep you from that truth. And actually, now, anytime you observe yourself overthinking, you're going to be much better at observing those thoughts. Again, your brain trying to be predictive. Your brain loves you so much. But when you observe that overthinking, you can now think to yourself as you inhale, thank you. Exhale, but I got this. I know the way. I can trust myself in this path that's unfolding before me. In a moment, but not just yet, I'm going to count you out of this state. But before I do, I want to remind you that as you listen to this meditation and you practice self-hypnosis, you practice mindfulness, you're more likely to sleep really, really well at night, waking up feeling refreshed the next morning. And if you feel and notice any early morning venting dreams, just know that that is your subconscious creating space for a new experience. So we're going to lock in this journey today, deepening and accepting everything that we received at 5, 4, becoming more aware of the sensations around you, 3, 2, 1, eyes open, wide awake, feeling calm, clear, well rested, and inspired. If you're watching me over on Instagram, every other Monday, I go live on our YouTube channel, Ritual Space YouTube, and I do guided hypnosis journeys to support you on your path, on your creative path. I also offer these sessions in person. My name is Jill. I'm a hypnotherapist, and I serve my community outside of Ritual Wellness Space, both virtual clients and in person. And it is my greatest joy to do that. Hypnosis is a tool that has changed my life in the most profound way. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here in this space without this practice. And it is a practice. It is a daily practice. The reprogramming of our subconscious minds, the releasing of challenging patterns, long-lasting, recurring, painful patterns. It is a dedicated practice. And we are creating new realities for ourselves every time we allow ourselves to connect to our goals and our wishes, our desires, and really understanding that you can have what you want simply because you want it. You can feel good simply because you deserve to. And when you are living in a state of constant dysregulation, whether that's stress of work, family dynamics, or just like understanding and being aware of the world around us and how news is being fed to us, information, we have access to so much information all the time. It can all be really overwhelming. And we always have a choice. And that is the most powerful lesson of this work, is understanding that even when you feel like you don't have a choice, the truth is you always do. And you are in control. Because with choice comes control. And it's a really empowered, loving choice to choose to come back home to yourself, to trust yourself, and to understand that you can create the reality and the life that you want to live simply because you want it. And devoting yourself to that vision, that reality, those goals every day in a way that allows you to connect with your joy. That is magic. That is literally profoundly powerful. And I know I am showing myself that each and every day. And I'm here to teach you how to do this each and every day. If you're interested in anything that I said, and you enjoyed this journey, you can find my work at becominghomehealingco.com, Becoming Home Hypnosis. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube. You can find me here every other Monday. And you can also catch me live here on Wednesdays over on YouTube with my amazing sisters in this incredible collective of conscious creatives and entrepreneurs here at Ritual Wellness Space, where we're talking about powerful things, all to help you remember how powerful you are. Because we really are. We're really so powerful, and we're even more powerful together. So I hope you had a really beautiful night, a really beautiful journey. I hope you sleep really, really well tonight. DM me, message me, let me know how this was for you. If you catch the recap, I want to know how this serves you. If you have any feedback or any suggestions for next week's mindful meditation, Mindful Monday. So we're here to serve you, this beautiful collective of creatives, of individuals who are just wanting more for yourself, and more for your people, more for your community, and more for your business. We're here to support you. So thank you so much for watching, even if it was for a little bit. I wish you peace and joy, and I love you so much, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. 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 Good night. Thank you. Thank you.